Good evening, YouTube. How are you guys doing this evening? Coming at you with another video from Deception Stoppers here. We made 2 videos thus far. We made an introduction video, and we also made a little video last night. Well, not a little video, it's about 20 minutes, where we talked about our current situation with these cases and whatnot. Today's video, as I said in that long video that I made yesterday, I'm going to talk about my first attorney here. This guy here who you're looking at on the screen, his name is Todd Sidoti, or I think it's Todd Sidoti. All right. He's I guess he's I don't know, I guess we'll go to his profile over on LinkedIn to see what he specializes in. But he's supposed to be a family attorney. He's a trial attorney. He also does criminal or something like that. We'll see that in a minute. Now, I know I'm a little bit all over. I'm not exactly starting from the beginning. We're gonna jump back. I want to just start what makes sense to start at. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this guy. Very first attorney before all this crazy stuff started happening. Okay, I didn't know much about the law. All right, honestly, I didn't know much about it. I've never been in a legal situation. I had trust in attorneys. I mean, we were all taught to put our trust into. We were taught that these are the good guys, and they work in our best interest. Okay, I've never been in a legal situation, so I was very unfamiliar with a lot of these laws and how to work them and whatnot. So this guy here, he actually contacted me through mail. Okay, and I still believe that he was sent to me, but we'll talk a bit about that later as we get to the other people. But he contacted me in the mail, sent me a letter. Okay. And I didn't call him right away because, like I said, I was confused about this divorce being filed and that stuff, which we're going to talk about a little later. I was a bit confused about that. Hence, I didn't know what to do. You know, I had to talk to some people and see what I could do in that situation. And about a week later, I picked up this guy's letter, and I called him up. We talked on the phone for about 45 minutes, and I just explained to him about the situation. You know, I explained to him. He was telling me, first thing he said was, "Oh, he's like, I noticed that you're going through a divorce, and and your wife's attorney, she's the best attorney in town, and she looks like they're trying to go to war." And I told him, I don't understand. I don't even know why there's a divorce being filed anyway. There shouldn't even be a divorce filed. Okay, we'll talk more about that. So I just told him how I felt. And he told me, trying to be, how lawyers do, try to make it seem like they're on your side and they give you all this advice and whatnot. So I trusted them a bit. I didn't really have a choice because, like I said, I didn't really know much about the legal stuff. So we proceed with the case, whatnot. I did everything that this dude told me to do. Okay, I paid fees that I needed to pay. And it was like one point it started getting strange. Can't remember exactly when it started. Yeah, he started sending me like, I guess he was his goal was was not to work in my best interest. Okay. He didn't even file. See, when you get an attorney, if somebody files a lawsuit against you or some complaint and you get an attorney, that attorney is supposed to respond to the other side. This is procedure. This is protocol. This is what they do. This is what you're supposed to do. Okay. I didn't know about this stuff at the time. Okay. I didn't know about how they normally go about doing that. This guy didn't do that. This guy had an agenda from the beginning. His agenda was to try to get me to settle out of court so I won't go through the full process. Okay? Try to get me to settle out of court for some peanuts. All right? Now, you guys know, I didn't talk much about my wife in videos, but my wife is pretty wealthy. She got some money. Okay? So that means if we went through the process, and mind you, I didn't file a divorce. Okay? I didn't file it. We'll talk more about that later, but I didn't file it. But let's just say if I went through the whole process, she would have to pay me 50% of what she's making. She had to pay me 50% of retirement, all that stuff. Just the rules, okay? The law, the Ohio law. So his goal was to try to get me to settle out of court for some peanuts, so they won't go, so that I wouldn't go through the full process, so they can get my marital property. This is how they work. Get me to settle out of court, manipulate my wife, tell my wife, well, look, we're going to do this. We're going to do this, and then they will keep a percentage of that money, basically my half of the marital property. This is what their agenda was. This is what they wanted to do. There's probably more to that, but this is what he wanted to do. And he was very upset when I didn't comply. Okay. Once I learned more and I started talking to other people and I realized he was lying. I told him, I said, look, I'm not going on with this. You see, I'm not going along with this because this dude lied. He straight lied to me in my face. He sat up and told me, he said, this is what this guy told me. He said, well, you're entitled to half of this and half of that. But however, or he said my wife's retirement. He said, you're entitled to half of her retirement. However, if you can't get it right now, you have to wait. What did he say? He said something about me having to wait until she retires in order to get that money. And he said, in the event of that, like while waiting until she retires, he said that if anything happens to her, I'm no longer entitled to that money. So when he was making those statements, it wasn't sounding right. And I went back and I talked to some people and they said that was a damn lie. They said, this guy's trying to scam you. He's a liar. So I told him, I'm like, I'm not going along with this. And then he started sending me these text messages trying to coerce me and trying to scare me, which you guys are going to see here in a minute. Okay. I ended up firing this guy. I fired him. I fired him because he wasn't doing his job. He wasn't representing me. He wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to be representing me. I'm his client. He's supposed to be working in my best interest. He's supposed to make sure I'm supposed to be getting justice and everything that I'm entitled to. But that's not what he was shooting for. Okay. So this is Mr. Shidoti. Now, this guy here, now after I fired him, we're not going to talk about my second attorney in this video, but I learned some things later on. Certain things started happening. Went down to the clerk's office. I was getting something. I asked them to pull up some sort of record. And then a lady was asking me, one of the clerks, she said, you've been to this hearing. She said, have you been? She said, I see that you've been to this such and such hearing. And I said, no. They said, you were in front of the magistrate Elliott. This is the magistrate. And I said, no, I've never seen the magistrate. I was never in front of the magistrate. She said, yes, you. She said, here in my computer, it says that you were in front of him. I said, no, that can't be right. That can't be right. So she prints out this, she looks at the paper and I signed something and she looked at it and she said, wait a minute. She said, that doesn't look like your signature. And I said, what do you mean? And I looked at the paper and I noticed my name was signed on this paper. And I asked her, I said, could you print that out for me, please? She prints the paper out and I looked at it. I was like, wait a minute. Now, a lot of you have seen me write. You see my writings and you're going to see this. I got the evidence right here of this forgery. I noticed my signature was forged on the paper. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know I'm thinking like, who wrote my name on this paper? And it came back to him, to Todd. He did it. I was pissed off. I was really pissed off because he tried to purport it as like he was me doing it. Horrible job, by the way. He forged my signature on the document. On top of that, the document was intentionally concealed. It was concealed. That's tampering with records, by the way. Normally, when you file certain documents onto the case, there's a stamp that goes on the top of it, of that document. That document was blank at the top. It didn't have a stamp on there. It didn't have a date or anything. It was intentionally concealed, meant to be concealed. Why that clerk pulled up and said something about that? I don't know. Maybe she was possessed. Because I do believe in possession. I really do. Maybe she was possessed to show me that document, but it was not supposed to be in the computer. And then there was another clerk in the office. I showed her that I was with my brother. I showed her that document. And she asked me, she said, so where did you get this document from? I said, well, that clerk over there just printed it out. She printed it out for me the other day. And she said, no, that can't be right. She said she was being very insistent that I'm lying and that I didn't get it from her. She said it can't be because this document doesn't have a timestamp on the top of it. You must have got it from you must have gotten it from your attorney. I said, no, I didn't get it from him. He never gave me this. I got it from her. She printed it out for me. And I don't know after that, but me and my brother, we were surprised, and we just took that. We kept that for our records. We still got that. We got that with our other records. And we goes, check this out. The next day, we goes into the doc, and we look at the files, and that same document that they print out for me, that document had a timestamp on it. It had a timestamp on it. That's tampering with records. That's tampering with records. That's a felony, I believe. Tampering with records. Okay. So that happened. And then I seen this. Now, this was a while afterwards. This was about a couple months later. I think by the time because I ended up running into him down at domestic court. This is a while later. This was by the time I was on my third attorney when I ran into this guy. It was like after a year or something like that. Yeah. So I said, wait a minute, that looks like Todd. Hold on, let me sip some water here. So I said, wait a minute, that looks like Todd. I walked up to him. Yes, and he was talking to somebody, one of his clients, I guess. And I asked him, I said, when you get done, can you step over to the side? I want to talk to you about something. And he said, oh, sure. So he went on ahead and he finished up talking with them, and we got to the side. I showed him the document. I said, is this your signature? He said, yeah. And I said, whose signature is this? And he was like, yours. And I said, so I signed this? And then he was shaking his head like he didn't know. I said, so I'm gonna ask you again, is this whose signature? Is this your signature down here? He said, yeah. And I pointed to my signature. I said, so did you sign my signature on this paper? And he was looking stupid, looking dumbfounded. I said, who signed my signature on here? Who signed my name right there? And he didn't say anything. Then I asked him again. I raised my voice, but I said, man, I said, who signed my name on this document right here? That's forgery. And then he gonna try to turn up on me. He said, hey, don't yell at me. Fuck up my face. This nigga said, I'll repeat. He said, hey, don't yell at me. Fuck out of my face. This is what he said to me. So by him saying that to me tells me that he was scared. Now, if someone comes up to me and try to accuse me of forging their signature and they ask me, I'm like, I didn't sign my name on there. I did not sign I didn't do that. You signed it. I didn't sign it. That's my signature right there. But I didn't do that. This dude tried to turn up on me and he was all scared, shaking. And then like these sheriffs going to come upstairs and they wondering what was going on. And, you know, we went over to the side and he was trying to shake my hand and stuff. Like this, like we making up or something like that. No, man, you signed my damn signature on this paper. That's a felony. You signing you forging my signature on court document. You can't do that. You don't have, what do you call it? You don't have power of attorney. You don't have power of attorney over me. I never told you that you can sign my name. I never told you that. I never told you that you can sign my name. So yeah, that's my first attorney, and that's malpractice. Okay, and what you about to see here is more malpractice. Okay, more malpractice. Now, let me tell you this. This is bankruptcy here. Now, before I start talking about this here, when the lawsuit was filed, the civil action was filed against these lawyers, okay? Naturally, Todd was put on there. This guy, Todd Shadoti, was put on there, right? So he thought it was a joke, thought it was all fun and games, thought we just some dumb niggas don't know what we doing. So once the process started, everybody started responding, putting a motion to dismiss in. Okay, and we were responding back to that. You know, after some hard research and learning how to go about doing this, learning how to get in the game. Once we started responding back to them, then this dude, he was making a joke, talking about some, well, they're this basketball, you know, like making a joke, or like our responses, he was making jokes like it was a laughing and a funny matter. Like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So he did that. And we threw a sanction on that ass for harassment. We hit him with a sanction. Okay. And then once we hit his ass with that sanction, then he shut up. And then as time went on, and we kept responding back to the defendants. They were, I'm pretty sure they were like, damn, these guys know what they're doing. These guys know their shit. We were responding to them. Now, check this out. Ty was awfully quiet. Okay, he was awfully quiet. He stopped talking shit and started taking this serious. Now, they had 9 more. This was, okay, normally a judge will issue an order and order both the defendants and the plaintiffs to do something, to respond, have discovery information in, what have you. And they had 9 days. It was 9 days. There were 9 days left before the deadline. Okay. 9 days. Check this out. Once Todd realized that this wasn't a laughing matter, that this wasn't a joke anymore, this nigga went and filed bankruptcy. Okay, in bad faith. I repeat, he went and filed bankruptcy in bad faith. And honestly, I don't think he did it by himself. I think he was advised, perhaps by our own judge or some other judge. Somebody told him to go file bankruptcy. Now, I know it sounds like speculation, but you're going to see. We have, well, actually, you know what? Oh, this is just the relief from stay. We have an objection to his filing, which he didn't respond to. This man went and filed bankruptcy in bad faith as a tactic to get out of litigation. This is what he did. He went down to the bankruptcy court, filed bankruptcy. He got him a bankruptcy attorney and filed for bankruptcy so that they can quote unquote stay the case, which wasn't stay in its entirety. It was only stay in his favor because he was the only one to have filed bankruptcy. Okay. Once he did that, then that put a halt on it. That put a halt on our civil case. 7 or 8 months went by. We didn't get nowhere. Abusive process. Abusive process. The question here is, if you needed to go file bankruptcy, why didn't you file? Why are you going to wait 9 days before the deadline to file bankruptcy? Why didn't you do it the first time? We know why you didn't do it. You didn't do it because you thought we were some dumb niggas, and that we didn't know we were. You thought we were some dumb niggas, and that we didn't know what we were doing. You didn't think it was going to get that far. But as time went by, and you saw our work, you saw y'all was getting this work. All y'all was getting this work. Once you see all that work, you say, "Oh shit, I'm not fucking with them. I want to file bankruptcy, so I'm not responding because I have no case. I have no defense. You have no defense. None of the defendants on this case have no defense to what they did. It's organized crime. It's malpractice. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. So he went and filed bankruptcy so he can get out of litigation. This is what he did. And then whenever someone files a bankruptcy, when there's a civil case going on, you can file an objection. And this is something that we did. We filed an objection, and it gives them, the opposing side, for at least 14 days to reply to that objection. 14 days went by. He didn't reply. His lawyer, they didn't reply to the objection. Now, if someone filed bankruptcy in good faith, they will file an objection. They will file an objection. Our objection was on point. It was on point. You couldn't respond to it. It was too good. Couldn't respond to it. So it just sat there. He didn't respond to it. We were trying to get our relief from stay. They were playing games down there at the bankruptcy court. Abusive process again. So what we did was go ahead and we took him off the civil case. Non-prejudice, which means that we will continue to be in that ass later on at a better time. So we took him off so that we can proceed with our current case. Now, this here, what you're looking at, remember I was talking about that timestamp that they normally put on documents down at the court. This right here. Case, they got the case number, they have the date and everything. That document that my name was forged on, it didn't have that on there. It didn't have that. But I think the one that we filed on this case, I think it has it on there. I will see when I get down. I'm not going to read all this stuff, but look, as you can see, this is his judge, his bankruptcy judge. And this is the case number. Okay. This is our relief from stay. This is what we put together here. After a lot of hard work and research, we need to do to put this together. Okay, I'm not going to read everything. Motion of creditors, Moses McCormick and Mark McCormick, for relief from the automatic stay for the state civil action case pending in the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas. All right. So, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with bankruptcy, but there's a 341, 340 hearing. It's basically an initial hearing that you go to when you file bankruptcy. You have to meet with a trustee. You sit down with the trustee. They ask you certain questions. You swear in before you start answering questions. Me and my brother went to this 341 hearing. We went there. We just went there, just sat there. I guess you can call it fishing, to see what he was going to be talking about. And when we got there, he was shocked. He walked in the room real fast and he slowed down. And he looked at it. He was like, "How you guys doing?" Like this shit was funny. Like it's a laughing matter. No, sit your ass down. We here. We want to see what you go. Because he put us in his bankruptcy. He listed us as creditors. We are creditors. because he's named in a lawsuit. So we sat there just listening to all the questions, and then this guy, he gonna get in his feelings, because he's a hothead, and he was making his body language, you could tell he was scared, nervous. He gonna make this comment and say, well, because the trustee had asked him, are there any pending lawsuits or something? Are you on any lawsuits or whatever? And then he gonna say, well, he has a claim against me. Well, he said something like, well, he pointed at me. He said, well, he has a claim against me, and he's accusing me for being a conspiracy in his divorce or something, he said. And then he pointed at my brother, and he was like, yeah, but this guy, he doesn't have a claim against me. He fucked up right there. He ran his damn mouth too much. He shouldn't have said that. How you gonna say that this man doesn't have a claim against you when we are both creditors. You put my name on your bankruptcy, and you put his name on the bankruptcy. You said that he didn't have a claim when you put him on there. We called him out on that. In here, all that stuff is in this motion here. Yeah, he got fucked up, like really bad in his motion. So bad that they couldn't respond. It's impossible. Too good. Look at this. You see that? Now, these people are so corrupt. Okay? These people are corrupt. Because normally when a case, a civil case can be stayed. I know this now. Okay, after doing all this research here. A civil case can't, if someone files, if you got one person, you got several defendants on the case, and one files bankruptcy, it's supposed to be stayed to him, not the whole case. Okay, the case will not be, it's a possibility the case could be stayed in its entirety, but this particular civil case wasn't stayed in its entirety. How do I know that? Because the judge didn't put out an order. Anytime a case is stayed in its entirety, an order has to go out by the judge letting all the parties know that the case is stayed. Okay, this is procedure. This is protocol. This is what you're supposed to do. We were just curious. There was a lawyer down at the courthouse asked him, normally if a case is stayed, will a judge issue an order? He said, oh yeah. He said, most definitely. An order is issued. That's just protocol. That's what they do. You have to issue an order. So they're playing these games. Okay. They play these games and they set this, check this out. We had a status conference hearing set. This is well after Todd had filed bankruptcy. We still had a hearing. We shows up to the hearing. This judge didn't put out any order saying that the case was stayed. They try to trick us, and this goes right back to what I was saying yesterday. These people, all they do is operate off of deception. This is what they do. It's what these white folks do. They do. This is what they do down in these courts, and this is what they've been doing throughout history. They operate off of deception. They set a trap. They'll set a trap. Okay, they'll set something up, knowing that it's going to be a matter of time before you fall for it. It's almost like I set a trap. I dig a hole. Okay, I dig this invisible hole, and I just cover it up in a way that you're not gonna see it. But eventually, you're gonna walk into it. You're gonna trap. It's gonna be your problem, and you fall in that hole. I don't care if you see it or not. But I created that hole. It's the same shit, pretty much. This is how these people work. This is what they do. They've been doing it throughout history. They doing it in this damn courthouse. They're down in these courts. Fortunately, we got the brains and we know how to read. We know how to read and we know how to understand. We know how to do research. Okay. This is what these people do. So they were trying to set a trap for us. Okay. If you go to the document the case, it will say the case is inactive. Okay. They set it to inactive to try, because they know that we check the document very often. They know that we do that. We check the document very often, and they figured that, okay, the McCormick brothers, they are going to check the document and they're going to see that it's inactive, and they're going to just naturally think the case has stayed, and they're not going to come to the hearing. That hearing was, there's an order, by the way. That status conference hearing was set. It was an order. So this is what they were going to do. If we wouldn't have showed up to that hearing, they would have held us to the fire and would have said they're not following court orders. We'll go ahead and we need to go ahead and appoint them a court appointed attorney because they don't understand the law. They try to trick us, but it didn't work because we're too smart for that. We pay very close attention. Very close attention. I'm detail oriented. I'm detail oriented, but my brother, he's even worse when it comes to being detail oriented. To the smallest things, pay close attention. And that's what we've been doing throughout all these cases, paying close attention, because these people, these damn white folks, that's what they do. They're sneaky and they're deceitful. This is what they do. Okay, this is what they do. This is exactly what they do. And if you don't know the law, they're gonna get you. And there's nothing that you can do. Leaving you to have no choice but to get an attorney. That's what these do. This is what these people do. That's what they do down here. So they try to trick us. We showed up to the hearing. The judge looked crazy. His face was red. We sitting there. He looked at us. He said, one of the defendants filed bankruptcy. Okay, you telling us now? You telling us at a hearing that one of the defendants filed bankruptcy. So we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to be. He talking to us like we're not supposed to be there. If you go outside the courtroom, I took some shots of that. The TV, it shows that our hearing started at a certain time. It said like 9:30. So if the case has stayed in its entirety, why is that up there? Why didn't you issue an order? Why? Why didn't you issue an order telling us that the case was stayed? Because the case wasn't stayed. And then when we went up there and we were talking to him, nobody was arguing. Asked him a simple question. Asked him, he said, well, the case is stayed. And then like my brother asked him for the non-debtors. And then he gonna tap out real quick and say, I'm not gonna sit up here and argue with you. Ain't nobody arguing. We talking about facts. What's up? You the judge. You know, this is your job. You do this every day. We just asked you a simple question. Facts. Who's arguing? That was a tap out because he know that they got caught, and he knows that we ain't dumb and we understand what they were trying to do. So yeah, they try to help this dude because he's an attorney, and he got caught. All of them got caught, but they ain't doing nothing but substantiating the case, and they gonna make things worse. That's all they gonna do. But I'm not gonna read all this. I'm just gonna go through here. We put some exhibits on here to show what this dude. Check this out. This dude is a fraud. That Tasadoti is a fraud. This guy, look at this, man. Look at this. You see this? This dude, provide false addresses to evade liability. This dude had like 7 addresses. He had like 7 addresses. Look at this shit. Look at this. You see this? Look at this address. Okay? That's just one. He purposely put in all these different addresses to try to evade liability because he's guilty. He's been running like a bitch the whole time. That's what he is. He's a stray hoe running like that. Bitch ass nigga running away from liability. Don't want to be a man and face up to what he did. But like I said, if I get caught and I do some crime, engaging in crime, I'm going to jail. Look at this shit. This is crazy. Now, this is that document I was talking about where my name was forged on here. Okay, look at this. Look at this shit. Now, this was a magistrate status conference order or whatever. This was supposed to be in front of the magistrate. I never saw him that day. Okay. For whatever reason, this dude, he and my wife's attorney. Look at this shit. Look how stupid these people are. They not smart. Look at this shit. First of all, look, forged it. Todd Sidoti forged my signature right here. You see this shit? Look at this. I don't write like that. Look at that. That's not me. What is this? Look. You see that? Look at that shit. He forged my signature right here. And then look, this is the magistrate's signature. So you either forged my signature in front of the magistrate. I don't know what you did. You forged my shit right here. And then y'all try to conceal it for whatever reason. And check this out. This is my wife's attorney. She forged my wife's signature and then tried to purport it as my wife. Because my wife, it looks like my wife's, this H looks like my wife's. But look, you know what the problem is? Guess what the problem is? Okay, my wife is Chinese, right? This is not her fucking name. Okay? My wife's name is Shiu Chun. The Shiu / Chun is her name. Where's the other part of her name? It's gone. So this stupid ass attorney right here, she don't understand Chinese culture, don't understand their names. Sign my wife's shit right here, thinking that this is her first name. This is just like saying Mo. Look, I'm gonna type right up. I'm gonna type right here and show you. This is. Look, it's supposed to be like this. That's my wife's name. Okay, it should be Shiu Chun here. She's missing Chun. That's her name. This is not her fucking name. So she forged her name. Shit, this is my shit too. We won. Me and my wife, we are one. So you forged both of our shit. He forged my signature right here, and her attorney forged both of our signatures because this is my signature too. This is my name, my wife. So there's no getting out of that. And then you try to purport it as her doing it. You made it look like she did it, but you fucked up because you didn't put her whole name. You just put Shield. That is not her name. That's not her name. That's terrible. These people are some frauds, and they should not be practicing law. They should not be having they should be barred. Really. This woman right here is terrible. Acting as a witness, no affidavits in court. These people are, they even try to get me, like, I'm going to talk more about this when I get to my third attorney because it's around that time when it's happened. But they try to get me psychologically evaluated. Once they saw that I wasn't falling for their shit and I caught them, they try to get me psychologically evaluated. This woman here put in a motion for a psychological evaluation with no affidavits, no credible witnesses. And the magistrate, which is, a person who was also part of this crime, he granted the motion and he let that shit be heard in his courtroom. That's illegal. You're not supposed to be talking about no psychological evaluations if you don't have any credible witnesses or affidavits. You can't do that. And then when I called him out on that, when this lawsuit was filed, my very, very last hearing in this courtroom, I told him, I said, look, man, I said, we're not even supposed to be talking about psychological evaluation. And he gonna talk about well, she threw it out. No, she didn't throw it out. Because this stupid woman here, she was talking about some, well, we want to still have, we want to still keep the psychological evaluations for later on. She was talking about some, she wanted to still keep it on there. But this man sat up here and said that she threw it out. No, she didn't throw it out. She didn't throw it out. You threw it out because you know that y'all's asses are in some trouble, some serious trouble. Y'all ass is about to be sued in federal court. And this lawyer right here, she already been sued in civil court. Both her right now, not him right now. We moving for some prosecution. We gonna get his ass. But she's being sued right now. The magistrate's being sued. The judge is being sued. All these Peckerwoods being sued right now. All of them. Because they some damn criminals. That's what they are. They done messed around with the wrong people. They done thought they were dealing with some dumbass niggas. And they in for a rude awakening. Because this is gonna be some nasty shit. This is gonna be really, really nasty. Really, really nasty. Look at this. Let me show you some more stuff. You can't do nothing. You can't even go to the police. We want to look, check this out. We try to exhaust everything. Okay. Everything that's put in place for the citizens. We try to use that. Okay. I went down to the police station. Oh, we did. Me and my brother both went down to the police station. We made a report. Okay. We made a police report on this forgery stuff here. I think this was for the forgery. Let me see. Yeah, fraud. We went down there and made a police report. Okay. Now, we talked to one of the officers there, and he had me do a handwriting analysis. I did that. I wrote my signature, did everything. I don't know what they did for him. I guess they called him in. But I'm going to show y'all what he did. I'm going to show y'all what they did for him. Unbelievable. This is obstruction of justice. Check this out. Check this out. Look. Offense, identity fraud. That's not identity fraud. It's forgery. They put this in wrong. That's obstruction of justice. It should be forgery. What else do you see crazy? What else do you see crazy down here? Suspect name, Sidoti, Ty Sidoti. Look at this address here. Another address. Look at that. We got several other addresses showing that how he running away like a bitch. Look at this. It's something else they put on here about this. Check this out. Where is it at? Look at this shit. Look at this. Offender relationships. Offender Ty Sidoti. Acquaintance. He is not an acquaintance. That's my attorney. They didn't want to put attorney. You see how they try to save him? Try to help him? They didn't. This should say attorney. Okay? This should say attorney. And it should say forgery. That's what it should say. They put acquaintance. That nigga is not an acquaintance. He is my attorney. That's what he is. And he forged my signature on documents. What kind of shit is that? You can't even go to the police. What they there for? They not doing their jobs. What are they there for? Who are they working for? What use is that? What use is that? Police not doing their jobs. Look at this. Look, Ty Sidoti. This is one of my receipts that I paid. Look. I paid this nigga. Look. Receipt for retainer. Look, you see that? Acquaintance? That's my attorney. That is my attorney. He is not an acquaintance. Look at this shit. Look at this. You see that? You tell me how is that justice? And tell me how that you tell me how that isn't bias and prejudice. Hook that up for me. That don't make no sense. I'm got some other stuff here to show you about him. This guy is pitiful. He's a fraud. He's a damn fraud. He should not be practicing law. He don't even know the law, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the stuff that he was putting in, his responses that he was putting in on a civil case were pitiful. Like he didn't know what he was doing. He was copying motions. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. I ain't never been to law school. We ain't never been to law school. We learned all this stuff. We know more than he knows. That nigga is pitiful. Look at this shit. Ty Sidoti, look. Dang, you can't really see it, but look at this shit. I just read your email. This will not set well with Judge Brown, but it's your right to change your mind. If this is your choice, then you will need to catch up on your fees and pay extra so I can prep for the upcoming war. And also do not touch that money she deposited yesterday. If you're changing your mind, then you have no right to that money. I have no right to, okay, leave it in the bank for her to take back. And I guess we'll talk later. Okay, let's back up here. I got to pay extra. This is coercion. Okay. Upcoming war, coercion, using fear tactics, trying to manipulate me, deceive me, and also do not touch that money she deposited. If you're not entitled. How am I not entitled to any type of money? That's my wife. That's malpractice. And that goes to show you that he's not working in my best interest. Look at this shit. What kind of attorney is that? I'm sorry, I can't really read this. I said, this doesn't scare me. How much do I owe you? Also, you are supposed to be my lawyer. To you, does it make sense to settle for 30 cents over $1? I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to do what makes sense. So this is like the early stage before I knew what I know now. Look at this. These are exhibits. He's telling plaintiff Moses McCormick he can't have the money his wife put in his account because he didn't settle out of court. Basically. Yeah, he was mad because I didn't settle, because I wasn't trying to settle. Look, Todd Sidoti was working in bad faith because he was working for Shiu Chun Lu, but pretending to have plaintiff Moses McCormick's best interest. This document proves that plaintiffs are credible with their facts set forth in the amended complaint. That's all malpractice. So this dude, look at this, man. And look, check this out. Look at this. She put me through a lot and lied so much. Why should I let her just up eat and walk away that easily? I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to do what makes sense. Look at that. Look at this. Bad faith, intent. Todd knew plaintiff had little to no money. Look at this. Look at this dude said, I don't need to check your account, but I believe it's between 600 and 800. If it's a war you want and it's your right to do so, then I strongly advise settling your bill with and seeking a free attorney. This can get very costly. And if you can't get food at your house, then you certainly can't afford a war like this. Just being honest. I can't get food at my house? What kind of attorney is that? That's crazy. Look at that. Wow. Affidavit. Look at this. You see this? Affidavit. We got all kinds of affidavits. Todd Sidoti filed Chapter 13 bankruptcy as a way to evade liability of fraud, forgery, civil conspiracy, and malpractice. We, as the plaintiff's court case, want to court take this under advisement. So he's a fraud. He's a fraud. He filed bankruptcy. And check this out. These some emails look at this shit. Look at this. I mean, that. Every time I look at this, it makes me sick to my stomach. I can appreciate your situation, and you need to do what is best. There is a strong possibility that she is trying to outmoney you in terms of legal representation. That's my wife. How the hell is she gonna be able? How the hell is my wife gonna outmoney me? That her money is my money. You can't outmoney me. What are you talking about? What you trying to say? She's trying to bribery? Is that what it sounds like? Is that what you're trying to say? You can't outmoney me. How you gonna do that? That's my wife. A 14-year marriage. Look at this. This dude is pitiful, man. Pitiful. And then they try to get me to take my girl. They tried to get me as a fully available parent to try to get me to take my daughters to try to force me to take my daughters to a daycare. They try to force me to take my daughters to a daycare. Trying to, basically saying I don't have any parental rights. I mean, this whole thing is messy. Look at this. Look at these addresses. Look at this. Look at all this. Look, South High Street. That's like the fourth address there. I mean, this dude is pitiful, man. So yeah, That's what we going through here. This is what we've been going through. This is that work. And these people, they just got caught and they mad. They probably feel like, oh, these black guys, we got your back. We'll help you out. Nah, nigga. This is the law. You broke the law. If I break the law, I'm going to jail. Your people broke the law. Now they got to pay. They got to fucking pay. I got a little Facebook page here that I created. Corruption in Columbus, Ohio. Okay. I put daily stuff up here and I just put some photos up. I'm going to show you guys. So this is Todd. This is the guy who we're talking about now. This guy is pitiful, man. He is pitiful. And these are some more people involved in this. Look at this. Look at these people. She's, what's her name? Catherine White, second attorney. Fraud. This woman here, she's the judge. She's the administrative judge. And this is her bailiff. Frauds. Okay? Frauds. And they're another case. Another complaint that just went against her. Unbelievable. Tampering, this woman right here, tampering with records. Tampering with federal documents. Erasing stuff off federal documents. We gonna expose y'all. This is just the beginning. That's her again. That's the judge. Kim Brown. This is the guardian ad litem / attorney. She knows the law. So she knew what she was doing. No excuses. This is my wife's attorney. Look at these clans. I wouldn't be surprised if they were part of the damn clan. And this is he's her boss. His name, William Gary. He owns the firm, William Gary Firm. Okay, he's being sued for trying to conceal assets from my wife. Trust, which we have evidence for. We won't be providing evidence in videos though. We're gonna save that evidence when it's time to go to court, go to trial. That's what we're gonna do. Criminals. He got caught. That's what happened. And this is the magistrate. Another Klan member. I won't be surprised. Look at it. Look at these people, man. These people are pitiful. You working for the people. And working in our best interests. You doing this shit to people, ruining people's families. And these women here ought to be ashamed of themselves. Black women. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much money is in this. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. This woman here has 2 kids. I've been to her Facebook page. She has two kids and doing this shit. These are some damn coons, house niggas. That's what they are. House niggas. We all know what house niggas are. House niggas. These white folks don't give a damn about you. Look at this. They do not give a damn about you. Y'all some damn coons. Seriously. That is sickening. Tosh Doty. Little weak ass LinkedIn page. What it says the skills are: commercial litigation, personal injury, civil litigation, trials, legal research. I mean, this dude is a joke, man. He's a straight joke. He's a joke. But anyway, that is pretty much it. I'm going to wrap this video up. And yeah, we're going to expose Tosh Doty some here in this video. Show you guys what he did. And you guys see what he did and why he was out of there. The next video, we're going to expose the second lawyer. Talk about what she did. I mean, these people are impossible. These people are impossible, man. Look at this guy. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Be careful. You guys, be careful with these lawyers, because I'm telling you, these are some evil people, man. Evil. This has been a very fruitful experience for me. I learned a lot, and I know what to expect from these people. A shame. Anyway, this is a 55-minute, this is almost an hour-long video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Got a lot more stuff like this coming out. These people about to just get exposed because, yeah, you shouldn't have did this shit. I didn't tell you to do this. You shouldn't be sleeping on nobody. You should do your research on people. You don't just fuck with anybody that you don't know. You don't do that. You did this shit. You decided to engage in criminal activity. Now you got to take responsibility. Don't blame me. Okay? Y'all just chose the wrong person to pick with. So that is it, guys. I'm out of here. I'm gonna end this video, and yeah, see you in the next video. Peace out.